Dean Obadala, CNN.com, and Daily Beast contributor. Anahita Sedaghatfar, defense attorney. Lynn Barry, HLN host, and Mark Eiglar's attorney at SpeakToMart.com. So the mother also knowingly allowed that. Anahita, how do we get our head around this? And are these mothers? Do we call these mothers? What do we call these women?
They're not mothers, Dr. Drew. I'm kind of at a loss for words, and you know me, it's very rare that I don't have a lot to say.
Yeah, you seem to be doing just fine.
Like, is this becoming a trend now? Are mothers just willing to give up their kids to pedophiles in order to land a man? I hope to God that this isn't what's happening, Dr. Drew, but, why not try to put on some lipstick, put on a new dress, smile at a guy, something less grotesque than giving up your child to be raped by a grown man in order to land a man. That is just something I can never wrap my head around, Dr. Drew.
Hold on a second.
And at least that was a good step. Maybe you should have seen signs earlier, but at least he wasn't in denial.
You disagree?
I disagree.
Anahita, why?
Dr. Drew, here's my thing. I'm not going to reiterate our disgust. We all agree, no brainer. These parents are vile. But this father comes to his daughter's sentencing and says, Your Honor, give her the maximum. Well, I'd say he's a little bit too late to the party. His 4-year-old granddaughter, you just listed, she wasn't potty trained. She could barely speak. She was exhibiting sexualized behavior. And he didn't notice this before. He didn't step in and say, hey, what's wrong with my granddaughter? Why is she behaving this way? Why is she malnourished?
Hang on.
I'm sorry.
Ani, Mark, I'll get to you 1 second. You're next. But Anahita does bring up a good point. How many nights do we get on here and say if people had gotten to this earlier, we wouldn't be in a disaster? Did this grandfather not have any idea his daughter needed some very serious help? But Mark,
it was a Hail Mary on her part.
They
bred the child for sex.
That's what makes it even more egregious. One of her excuses was, I was manipulated by my husband. I would do anything to be with him. Well, Dr. Drew, men don't manipulate women into raping their own children or allowing other men to rape. They might manipulate you to go out on a date with them, maybe to try to get you into bed, but they don't manipulate a mother to rape her own child. That is a BS excuse, and I think that's part of the reason why the judge sentenced her to the maximum here.
Because there was no excuse. Now, the guy, this Marine, the guy with the mind control capacity, was apparently a decorated Marine, but obviously a sexual deviant as well. This guy is going to go to trial soon as well. Do you expect the same thing to happen to him, Anahita?
Absolutely. I think, especially in this case, he should get the max. He continued to do this with his daughter after the divorce. Not to mention, you brought this up earlier in the show, he found another girl, another 23-year-old woman that has a child. He also raped that child. And the worst part about this is that he was living a double life. And I think, unfortunately, that's what we see with pedophiles. They should wear a sign that says, I'm a pedophile, so we know how to deal with these crazies. But they don't, which is why, Dr. Drew, I mention this every time we talk about these cases. People need to bring this up when they see children abused and signs.
See something, say something. It's all over the subways here in New York, Jenny. I think that's a great thing.
Who owns that truck? It's
Anahita, Dean makes a great point. Why not just stop and go, I didn't see him, this is awful, and try to help the kid?
Well, don't you first have to know that you hit someone before you stop and say, I'm sorry, I hit someone? Look, I've watched this tape a few times, Dr. Drew. This is a big truck. There's a huge trailer. You're looking at it right now, attached to this car. This kid darts out from behind another car. It looks like almost like he's running into the side of the truck. I doubt that driver even knew that he hit this little poor kid, 50-pound kid. It's unfortunate. Thank God it wasn't worse, Dr. Drew. But maybe instead of trying to search for this driver, the parents should be questioning the parents and saying, why were you leaving this little 7-year-old boy?
I mean, that's going to be a really difficult argument.
It's not politically correct. I'm sorry, I'm not saying let's go after this guy, lock him up. It's a huge truck.
Agree with you. A 3-year-old should not be.
Okay, Anahita makes a good point. If she's defending the guy, great argument to be made. It comes in second place, however. You're going to know. And also, this is now the biggest story.
Exactly. And I think that's an example of this.
Anahita, I'm running out of time, so don't say anything too provocative, please. Don't drop a bomb on me now.
She can't stop herself.
I just can't help it. But Lynn makes a great point, accountability. Why is it that everyone on the panel gets so upset when I mention that, what about the parents here? Where's their responsibility? Of course no one wants this to happen to a small child. Accidents happen. But at the same time, a 7-year-old boy should probably know better. Where were the parents? Why wasn't he supervised?
Point made. Hang on, Dean, finish us off.
Family as well.
Dean.
7-year-olds run into the street every now and then. They just do. No matter
coming forward with this person, or she. We keep saying he.
Or maybe he didn't know he hit the kid.
Thank you,
way.
panel. Hang on.
It was a clear day.
Last call coming up next.